Hey folks, it's raining in California, and I'm so upset about it that I made a video, and here it is. I did some cool stuff this week. I want to show it off. I didn't think I'd get it done, and it was pretty quick. So here we go. I wanted to finish up a few different features before I started working on an actual game in my engine. And the last one that I really wanted to roll out was getting sprites rendering to the screen. So, 2D pictures with transparency and with different shader options. I already had text rendering to the screen, as you can see here, but it's a little bit different to get images. I actually think less work with text. OpenGL doesn't have any, API for dealing with fonts or text or anything like that, so I had to write a bunch of that on top of the free type library and write a whole manager for handling fonts and converting those into a bitmap image, which could then get rendered to OpenGL. So that was a whole rabbit hole I went down. It's actually, I found it easier to get images rendering. I just had never bothered to actually go ahead and write something to do it. So here we are. So let's show off what I have. If you look on the right side of the screen, you'll see that I have a component view of a scene object, and this scene object has a shader component, it has a canvas component, which contains what I call glyphs, which are either text labels or icons like this little map marker here, or more recently added is a sprite. So what I've done is I've made a sprite. I've used one of the images I already have in my scene, so I'm actually using the leaf texture that I use for this pot over here. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, so I made a sprite, gave it a texture, and I think right now I just have it take up the whole screen, or I will. So let me do that. So I'm going to set the scale of this thing to be 1 in every dimension, and that will take up my whole screen. And yeah, that's pretty neat. So it works. It only took about a day or so to actually get working, which was a huge surprise. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. If you want to render stuff like menus and on-screen GUIs, this will, by all the powers combined of labels, icons, and sprites, that'll get you there. So I'm pretty excited, and I'm looking forward to wrapping this up. The next step I want is to figure out a good way of loading in texture atlases and sprite maps so that I can have sprite animations and a little bit fancier handling of my textures. But after that, I'll really be into game development mode. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show off this week. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time.